Introduction to beekeeping. Beekeeping, also known as apiculture, is the practice of maintaining bee colonies, commonly honeybees, in man-made hives. This ancient practice dates back thousands of years, evolving from simple honey gathering to sophisticated methods for managing bee health and productivity. Beekeepers provide shelter and care for bees, in return benefiting from honey, beeswax, propolis, pollen, and the vital pollination services bees provide. Understanding the intricate social structure and biology of honeybees is fundamental to successful beekeeping, as it allows for informed decisions regarding hive management. This course will guide you through the essential aspects of starting and maintaining your own bee colonies, fostering a deeper connection with nature. It emphasizes sustainable practices for both the bees' well-being and the beekeeper's success. Modern beekeeping combines traditional wisdom with scientific advancements to address challenges like habitat loss, pesticide use, and disease. It requires dedication, observation, and a willingness to learn from the bees themselves. Beekeepers play a crucial role in agriculture and ecosystem health, as honeybees are responsible for pollinating a significant portion of the world's food crops. This lecture aims to equip you with the foundational knowledge and practical skills necessary to embark on your beekeeping journey responsibly. We will explore everything from choosing the right equipment to understanding seasonal hive dynamics. Join us as we delve into the rewarding world of honeybees and their caretakers. Why keep bees? People choose to keep bees for a variety of compelling reasons, ranging from personal enjoyment to environmental stewardship and economic benefits. One of the most common motivations is the desire to harvest delicious, natural honey, a product with unique flavors depending on the floral sources. Beyond honey, beekeepers can also collect beeswax, propolis, and pollen, all of which have various uses in crafts, health products, and nutrition. The act of tending to a colony provides a deeply satisfying connection to nature, offering a calming and meditative experience. It fosters a greater appreciation for ecological balance and the intricate workings of the natural world. Many find the process of learning about bee behavior and colony dynamics endlessly fascinating, turning beekeeping into a lifelong hobby. Environmental concern is another significant driver for many beekeepers. By housing bee colonies, individuals directly contribute to the pollination of local plants, including garden vegetables, fruit trees, and wildflowers, enhancing biodiversity. This support for pollinators is crucial in an era where bee populations face numerous threats. Beekeeping can also be a source of income, whether through selling honey and other bee products at local markets or providing pollination services to farmers. It offers an opportunity to engage with a community of like-minded individuals, sharing knowledge and experiences. Ultimately, keeping bees is a rewarding endeavor that combines agricultural practice, ecological responsibility, and a passion for nature. Honeybee biology, the queen. The queen bee is the most vital member of a honeybee colony, serving as the sole reproductive female. Her primary role is to lay eggs, ensuring the continuation and growth of the colony. A healthy queen can lay up to 2,000 eggs per day during peak season, which is more than her own body weight. She is typically larger than worker bees and drones, with a longer, more tapered abdomen, making her distinguishable within the hive. The queen mates only once in her lifetime, during a series of nuptial flights, storing sperm from multiple drones in her spermatheca. This stored sperm allows her to fertilize eggs for years, producing female worker bees. Unfertilized eggs develop into male drones. Her presence also maintains colony cohesion through the production of queen pheromones, chemical signals that regulate bee behavior and suppress worker bee ovarian development. Without a healthy queen, a colony will quickly decline and eventually perish. The lifespan of a queen bee can range from 1 to 5 years, though her productivity typically declines after 2 or 3 years. When a queen's egg-laying capacity diminishes, or if she dies suddenly, the worker bees will initiate the process of raising a new queen. They do this by selecting several young larvae and feeding them a special diet of royal jelly, which triggers their development into queens. This process, known as supersedure or emergency queen rearing, ensures the colony's survival. Understanding the queen's health and activity is paramount for beekeepers, as it directly reflects the overall vitality and future prospects of the entire colony. Regular inspections often involve looking for signs of a healthy, actively laying queen, such as a consistent brood pattern. Honey bee biology. Workers. Worker bees are sterile female bees and constitute the vast majority of a honeybee colony, performing nearly all the essential tasks required for the hive's survival. Their lifespan varies significantly with the season. Summer workers live only about 4 to 6 weeks due to their intense workload, while winter workers can live for several months. A worker bee's life is a progression of different jobs, starting with tasks inside the hive and moving to foraging outside. Young workers begin as nurse bees, feeding larvae royal jelly and pollen. They then transition to house bees, cleaning cells, building comb, processing nectar into honey, and guarding the hive entrance. As they mature, they become field bees, venturing out to collect nectar, pollen, water, and propolis. Each task is crucial for the colony's health and productivity. Their collective efforts ensure the hive functions as a superorganism, maintaining a stable environment and gathering resources. The division of labor among worker bees is a remarkable example of social insect organization, driven by age, colony needs, and pheromonal cues. Their specialized roles ensure efficiency and adaptability, allowing the colony to respond to changing environmental conditions. Worker bees possess specialized anatomical features, such as pollen baskets on their hind legs for carrying pollen and a honey stomach for transporting nectar. They also have a barbed sting, which they can use only once, resulting in their death, primarily for defense of the hive. Their tireless work ethic and cooperative nature are fundamental to the success of the entire bee colony. Understanding the various roles of worker bees helps beekeepers appreciate the complexity of the hive and manage it effectively, recognizing the importance of a strong, healthy workforce for honey production and colony growth. Honeybee biology. Drones. Drones are the male honeybees in a colony, easily recognizable by their larger, stouter bodies, bigger eyes, and lack of a sting. Their primary and almost sole purpose is to mate with a virgin queen from another colony during her nuptial flights. Drones do not participate in foraging for nectar or pollen, nor do they contribute to hive maintenance tasks like cleaning, comb building, or nursing larvae. They are fed by worker bees, making them somewhat dependent on the female members of the colony. While their role might seem limited, their genetic contribution is crucial for the diversity and health of the wider bee population. A colony typically maintains a population of several hundred to a few thousand drones during the active season. Their presence is a sign of a healthy, thriving colony, ready to contribute to the genetic pool. Drones develop from unfertilized eggs laid by the queen, a process known as parthenogenesis, meaning they only have a mother and no father. Their lifespan is generally shorter than that of a queen, but longer than a summer worker, typically lasting a few weeks to a couple of months. As autumn approaches and resources become scarcer, worker bees often expel drones from the hive, as they consume valuable honey stores without contributing to the colony's winter survival. This act, known as drone eviction, ensures that the colony's limited resources are conserved for the queen and worker bees who will overwinter. Understanding the drone's role helps beekeepers appreciate the complete social structure of the honeybee colony and recognize the different needs and functions of each caste. The bee colony structure. A honeybee colony functions as a highly organized superorganism, where individual bees work together for the survival and prosperity of the entire group. This complex social structure is comprised of 3 distinct castes: a single queen, thousands of sterile female worker bees, and hundreds to thousands of male drones. Each caste has specific roles, yet their combined efforts are essential for the colony's life cycle. From reproduction and foraging to defense and climate control, the queen is the reproductive center, laying all the eggs. Worker bees perform all the labor, from nursing and cleaning to foraging and guarding. Drones exist primarily for mating. This intricate division of labor ensures that all necessary tasks are completed efficiently, allowing the colony to thrive and adapt to its environment. The colony's health is dependent on the balance and cooperation of these three castes. The hive itself is more than just a shelter. It's the physical manifestation of the colony's home and its internal organization. Within the hive, bees construct intricate wax combs, which serve multiple purposes: storing honey and pollen, housing the brood, eggs, larvae, and pupae, and providing pathways for bee movement. The temperature and humidity within the hive are meticulously regulated by worker bees, creating an optimal environment for brood development and honey ripening. Communication within the colony occurs through a sophisticated system of pheromones, dances, and tactile signals, allowing bees to share information about food sources, threats, and colony needs. Understanding this holistic structure is key to successful beekeeping, as it informs how beekeepers interact with and manage their colonies, respecting their natural behaviors and organizational principles. Types of hives. Langstroth. The Langstroth hive is by far the most popular and widely used beehive design globally, known for its practicality and modularity. Invented by Lorenzo Lorraine Langstroth in the mid-19th century, its key innovation is the concept of bee space, a precise gap, approximately 3/8 inch, that bees will neither fill with comb nor propolis. This bee space allows beekeepers to easily remove and inspect individual frames without damaging the comb or disturbing the bees excessively. A standard Langstroth hive consists of a bottom board, one or more hive bodies, deep boxes for brood, shallower supers for honey, an inner cover and an outer cover. The frames within each box are removable, making inspections, honey harvesting, and disease management much simpler. Its standardized components mean parts are interchangeable, facilitating expansion and maintenance. This design has revolutionized beekeeping, making it more accessible and efficient for hobbyists and commercial operations alike. Langstroth hives are highly adaptable, allowing beekeepers to add or remove boxes as the colony grows or as seasons change. Deep hive bodies are typically used for the brood nest, where the queen lays eggs and the colony raises its young. Shallower boxes, called supers, are added above the brood nest for honey storage, making them easier to handle when full. The modular nature of the Langstroth hive also makes it easy to manage swarming tendencies, split colonies, or combine weaker ones. While initial setup can be more involved than some simpler hive types, the long-term benefits of ease of inspection, management, and honey extraction make it the preferred choice for most beekeepers. Its robust design and widespread use mean there is ample support, equipment, and educational resources available for Langstroth hive users. Types of hives: top bar and wara. Beyond the ubiquitous Langstroth, two other popular hive types, the top bar hive and the wara hive, offer alternative approaches to beekeeping, often favored by those seeking a more natural or hands-off method. The top bar hive, originating from Africa, is a long, horizontal hive composed of a single box with wooden bars placed across the top. Bees build their comb naturally downwards from these bars, without the use of pre-made foundation. This design eliminates the need for heavy lifting of multiple boxes and allows for easy inspection of individual combs by simply lifting a bar. Honey harvesting often involves crushing and straining the comb, which can be less labor-intensive for small-scale operations. Top bar hives are praised for their simplicity and minimal intervention, allowing bees to build comb in their preferred natural shape. They are particularly appealing to beekeepers who prioritize bee welfare and a more organic approach. The Waugh hive, developed by French abbot Émile Waugh, is a vertical, modular hive designed to mimic a tree cavity, which is a bee's natural habitat. It consists of multiple smaller boxes stacked vertically, with top bars inside each, similar to a top bar hive, but in a vertical configuration. The war hive encourages bees to build comb downwards through successive boxes, promoting natural comb building and minimal disturbance. Beekeepers add new boxes to the bottom, allowing the bees to expand downwards, mimicking natural growth patterns. This bottom supering method is believed to be less disruptive to the colony. War hives are often chosen by beekeepers who advocate for a more bee-friendly approach, focusing on colony health and natural behavior over maximum honey production. Both top bar and war hives represent a departure from conventional Langstroth methods, offering unique advantages for specific beekeeping philosophies. Essential beekeeping equipment. Embarking on beekeeping requires a basic set of essential equipment to ensure both the beekeeper's safety and the bee's well-being. The most fundamental piece is, of course, the bee hide itself, whether it's a Langstroth, top bar, or Warre. Beyond the hive, several tools are indispensable for routine inspections and management. A hive tool is a versatile, flat metal bar used for prying open hive components, separating frames, and scraping propolis and wax. A smoker is crucial for calming bees during inspections. The smoke disrupts their alarm pheromones, making them less defensive. A bee brush, with soft bristles, is used to gently move bees off frames without harming them, particularly during honey harvesting. These core tools form the foundation of a beekeeper's toolkit, enabling safe and effective interaction with the colony. Investing in quality equipment from the start can make the beekeeping experience much more enjoyable and successful. Additional essential equipment includes frames and foundation, especially for Langstroth hives, which provide a guide for bees to build straight comb. Feeders are necessary for providing sugar syrup to new colonies or during periods of nectar dearth, ensuring they have adequate food stores. An entrance reducer helps control the size of the hive entrance, protecting smaller colonies from robbing by other bees or pests. Queen excluders, while optional, are often used in Langstroth hives to keep the queen in the brood box, preventing her from laying eggs in honey supers. Having a dedicated space for storing equipment, along with cleaning supplies, is also important for maintaining hygiene and organization. Familiarity with each tool's purpose and proper use is key to becoming a confident and competent beekeeper, ensuring minimal stress for both the bees and the beekeeper during hive manipulations. Protective gear. Wearing appropriate protective gear is paramount for any beekeeper, regardless of experience level, to prevent stings and ensure a comfortable and safe working environment. The most critical piece of equipment is a bee suit or jacket, typically made of thick, light-colored material, often cotton or a blend, which covers the entire body. This suit usually includes a veil that protects the face and neck from stings, offering clear visibility. The veil can be integrated into the suit or be a separate hood that zips onto a jacket. Light colors are preferred because dark colors can agitate bees, as they associate them with predators like bears. A well-fitting suit provides a physical barrier, minimizing the risk of stings while allowing for freedom of movement during hive inspections. Investing in good quality protective gear is a wise decision for any beekeeper. Gloves are another essential component of protective gear, typically made of leather or thick canvas, extending up the arm to meet the sleeves of the suit. They protect the hands and wrists, which are common targets for stings. While some experienced beekeepers prefer to work without gloves for better dexterity, beginners are strongly advised to use them. Footwear should consist of sturdy, closed-toe shoes or boots that cover the ankles. Preventing bees from crawling up legs, it is also advisable to tuck pant legs into socks or boots. The goal of protective gear is not to eliminate all stings, as an occasional sting is almost inevitable in beekeeping, but to significantly reduce the frequency and severity, allowing the beekeeper to work confidently and calmly. Proper gear helps maintain a positive experience and minimizes fear, which can otherwise lead to rushed and potentially harmful hive manipulations. Sourcing your bees. Packages. Once you have your hive and protective gear ready, the next step is acquiring your bees. One common method for new beekeepers is purchasing a package of bees. A package typically consists of 2 to 3 pounds of worker bees, approximately 10,000 to 15,000 bees, a mated queen in a separate small cage, and a can of sugar syrup for sustenance during transit. These packages are usually shipped in a screened wooden or plastic box, allowing for ventilation. They are often ordered in late winter or early spring for delivery when local weather conditions are suitable for installation. The queen is caged separately to ensure she is accepted by the worker bees, who may not be her direct offspring. This method provides a fresh start for a new colony, allowing them to build comb and establish themselves in their new home. It's a popular choice for beginners due to its relative simplicity and availability. When your package arrives, it's crucial to install them into your prepared hive as soon as possible, ideally within a day or two. The installation process involves gently shaking the bees from their package into the hive, then placing the queen cage between frames in the brood box. The queen cage typically has a candy plug that the bees will chew through, releasing her gradually over a few days, allowing them time to acclimate to her pheromones. This slow release significantly increases the chances of queen acceptance. After installation, it's vital to feed the new colony sugar syrup to help them draw out comb and build up their strength. Package bees require careful monitoring and feeding in their initial weeks to ensure they successfully establish a strong, healthy colony. This method offers a clean slate, free from existing pests or diseases, making it an attractive option for starting a new apiary. Sourcing your bees. Nucs and swarms. Another excellent way to acquire bees is by purchasing a nuc, short for nucleus colony. A nuc is a small, established colony, typically consisting of 3 to 5 frames of bees, brood, eggs, larvae, pupae, honey, pollen, and a proven laying queen. Unlike a package, a nuc is a fully functioning mini colony, already organized and actively producing. This means they have a head start in building up strength and drawing out comb in their new hive. Nucs are often sold in specialized transport boxes, which are then transferred directly into a full-sized hive. Because the queen is already established and laying, and the bees are accustomed to her pheromones, the risk of queen rejection is significantly lower than with package bees. Nucs are generally more expensive than packages, but offer a higher success rate for new beekeepers due to their established status. They are a reliable option for those seeking a quicker path to a productive colony. Catching a wild swarm is an exciting and often free way to acquire bees, though it requires quick action than some luck. A swarm is a natural phenomenon where a portion of an established colony, including the old queen and a large number of worker bees, leaves the original hive to find a new home. Swarms are typically docile because they are engorged with honey for their journey and have no hive to defend. Beekeepers can capture swarms from trees, bushes, or other structures using a swarm trap or by simply shaking them into a box. While catching a swarm is thrilling, it comes with the risk of introducing diseases or pests into your apiary, as their health history is unknown. Therefore, careful inspection and potential treatment are crucial after hiving a wild swarm. Regardless of the method chosen, careful planning and preparation are key to successfully introducing new bees to your apiary and setting them up for long-term success. Setting up your apiary. Choosing the right location for your apiary, the place where your beehives are kept, is a critical decision that impacts the health and productivity of your colonies. The ideal site should offer several key features. Firstly, it needs good sun exposure, particularly in the morning, to encourage early foraging and help warm the hive quickly after cold nights. However, some afternoon shade can be beneficial in hot climates to prevent overheating. Secondly, access to a reliable water source, such as a bird bath, pond, or a dripping faucet, is essential, especially during dry periods, as bees need water for cooling the hive and diluting honey for feeding larvae. Thirdly, The apiary should be located away from high-traffic areas, busy sidewalks, or neighbors' play areas to minimize potential interactions and stings. Consider local ordinances and neighbor relations when selecting a site. Good air circulation around the hives is also important to prevent moisture buildup and disease. Furthermore, the apiary location should provide access to diverse floral sources within a 2 to 3 mile radius, ensuring a consistent supply of nectar and pollen throughout the seasons. Proximity to agricultural fields or natural areas with a variety of flowering plants is highly beneficial. The ground should be level and well drained to prevent water from pooling around the hive entrances. Elevating hives on stands is recommended to deter pests, reduce moisture, and make inspections more comfortable. Consider prevailing wind directions and place hive entrances facing south or southeast to maximize morning sun and minimize exposure to harsh winds. Finally, ensure easy access for yourself, but make it difficult for curious animals or unauthorized individuals. Thoughtful apiary setup creates a safe, productive, and harmonious environment for your bees and a practical workspace for you, laying the groundwork for successful beekeeping. Installing your bees. Installing your newly acquired bees, whether from a package or a nuke, is a critical first step in establishing your apiary. Before the bees arrive, ensure your hive is fully assembled, painted if desired, and placed in its chosen location. Have all your protective gear ready and your hive tool and smoker prepared. For package bees, the process involves gently shaking the bees into the hive. First, remove a few frames from the center of the brood box to create space. Then, remove the queen cage from the package, checking that the queen is alive. Secure the queen cage between 2 central frames, ensuring the candy plug is accessible for the worker bees to release her. Finally, invert the package over the open hive body and gently shake the bees down into the empty space. Place the remaining frames back carefully. This method ensures most bees enter the hive, ready to begin their work. For a nuke, installation is generally simpler as you are transferring an already established mini colony. Carefully remove the frames from the nuke box, one by one, and place them in the same order into the center of your prepared full-sized hive. Ensure the queen is on one of the frames before transferring. Fill any remaining space in the hive body with empty frames after installing either package or nuke bees. It is crucial to immediately provide them with a feeder filled with 1-to-1 sugar syrup. This syrup provides an easily accessible energy source, stimulating them to draw out new comb and build up their stores. Avoid disturbing the newly installed colony for at least a week to allow them to settle in and the queen to begin laying. This initial period of establishment is vital for the colony's long-term success and growth, requiring minimal intervention and consistent feeding. First, inspection and feeding. After installing your bees, it's crucial to resist the urge to immediately inspect them. Allow the colony at least 5 to 7 days to settle into their new home. Release the queen, if from a package, and begin drawing out comb. This initial period of undisturbed establishment is vital for their stress reduction and successful integration. Once this period has passed, your first inspection should be brief and focused. The primary goals are to confirm the queen has been released and is actively laying eggs, and to assess if the bees are drawing comb. Look for eggs, which resemble tiny grains of rice standing upright in the bottom of cells, indicating a laying queen. Also, observe if bees are building new wax comb on the frames. If the queen is not laying, or if there are no signs of comb building, further investigation or intervention may be required. This initial check provides valuable insight into the colony's health and progress. Consistent feeding of a newly installed colony is paramount, especially during the first few weeks, or until they have drawn out at least 5 to 7 frames of comb and established significant honey stores. A 1-to-1 sugar syrup solution, equal parts sugar and water, is ideal for stimulating comb drawing and providing energy. This can be offered through various feeder types: an entrance feeder, a top feeder, or an in-hive frame feeder. Ensure the feeder is always full, as a continuous supply is more beneficial than intermittent feeding. The syrup helps the bees rapidly build up their resources, allowing them to focus on raising brood and expanding the colony. Continue feeding until a strong nectar flow begins in your area, or until the hive has sufficient capped honey stores. Regular, gentle inspections and consistent feeding are the cornerstones of successful initial colony establishment, setting the stage for a thriving apiary. Routine hive inspections. Routine hive inspections are fundamental to successful beekeeping, allowing you to monitor colony health, identify potential problems, and make timely management decisions. The frequency of inspections varies with the season and colony strength, but generally, every 1 to 2 weeks during the active season is a good guideline. Before opening the hive, always prepare your smoker, hive tool, and protective gear. Approach the hive calmly and gently apply a few puffs of smoke to the entrance and under the inner cover to calm the bees. When opening the hive, work slowly and deliberately, minimizing sudden movements. The primary goals of an inspection are to check for the presence of the queen or signs of her laying, like eggs and a good brood pattern. Assess the colony's overall strength and temperament, and monitor food stores. Look for a healthy, compact brood pattern with minimal skipped cells, indicating a productive queen. Observe the amount of kept honey and pollen stores, ensuring the bees have enough resources. During inspections, also look for signs of pests and diseases. Check for varroa mites on bees or in drone brood, and look for evidence of small hive beetles or wax moths. Be vigilant for unusual odors, discolored larvae, or abnormal comb patterns that might indicate a disease like American foul brood. Assess the colony's space. If they are running out of room, they may prepare to swarm, so adding another box, super, might be necessary. Note any changes in bee behavior, such as increased aggression or a sudden decrease in population. Keep detailed records of your inspections, including dates, observations, and any actions taken. This documentation helps track colony progress and informs future management strategies. Regular, thorough, yet gentle inspections are the cornerstone of proactive beekeeping, enabling you to maintain strong, healthy, and productive colonies throughout the year. Understanding bee behavior. Understanding honeybee behavior is crucial for effective beekeeping, as it allows you to interpret their actions and anticipate their needs. Bees communicate through a complex system of pheromones, dances, and tactile signals. Pheromones, chemical scents released by the queen, workers, and brood, regulate almost every aspect of colony life, from queen presence and alarm signals to foraging directions. The famous waggle dance is a sophisticated form of communication used by scout bees to inform other foragers about the direction and distance to nectar and pollen sources. Different sounds and vibrations also convey information within the hive. Observing these behaviors helps beekeepers gauge the colony's mood, identify potential problems, and make informed management decisions. For instance, a sudden increase in aggressive behavior might indicate a queenless colony or a pest attack. Learning to read your bees is an ongoing process that deepens your connection to the apiary. Beyond communication, bees exhibit a range of fascinating behaviors related to foraging, defense, and reproduction. Foraging bees tirelessly collect nectar, pollen, water, and propolis, each resource vital for the colony's survival. Defensive behaviors, such as guarding the hive entrance or stinging perceived threats, are essential for protecting their home and resources. Swarming, a natural reproductive process, involves a portion of the colony leaving to establish a new home, often preceded by specific behaviors like queen cell construction and reduced foraging. Beekeepers learn to recognize these signs to manage swarming. Robbing, where bees from one colony attempt to steal honey from another, is another behavior to watch for, especially during nectar dearth. By observing and understanding these intricate behaviors, beekeepers can work in harmony with their bees, promoting a healthy and productive environment while minimizing stress for both the colony and themselves. This knowledge transforms beekeeping from a task into a truly engaging and rewarding experience. Seasonal management. Spring. Spring is a crucial time for beekeepers, marking the beginning of the active season and rapid colony growth. As temperatures rise and new floral sources emerge, the queen increases her egg-laying and the colony expands quickly. The primary management goals in spring are to ensure the colony has enough space, prevent swarming, and monitor for pests and diseases. Early spring inspections should confirm the queen's health and laying pattern. Assess food stores and check for signs of winter damage. If food stores are low, supplemental feeding with sugar syrup is essential. As the colony grows, they will need more room for brood and honey. Adding a second deep brood box or a honey super is often necessary to prevent overcrowding, which is a major trigger for swarming. This expansion provides the queen with more laying space and foragers with more storage capacity, keeping the colony content and productive. Swarm prevention is a key focus in late spring. Bees naturally reproduce by swarming, but this results in losing half your bees and honey production. Techniques like splitting the colony, dividing it into two smaller ones, removing queen cells, or reversing hive bodies can help manage swarming impulses. Regular inspections of the queen cells are vital. If found, they indicate an impending swarm. Spring is also the time to begin monitoring for varroa mites, as their populations will start to build. Integrated pest management (IPM) strategies, including drone brood removal or sticky board checks, can be initiated. Ensuring your colonies have a strong start in spring, with ample space, food and pest control, sets the stage for a productive honey flow in summer and a healthy colony going into the next winter. Proactive management during this period is paramount for beekeeping success. Seasonal management. Summer. Summer is typically the peak season for honey production and colony activity, often referred to as the honey flow. During this time, nectar and pollen are abundant and colonies reach their largest populations. The primary management goal in summer is to provide ample space for honey storage and to prepare for harvesting. As bees bring in large quantities of nectar, they need supers, additional boxes to store and ripen it into honey. Adding supers proactively, before the bees become crowded, prevents them from feeling restricted and potentially swarming. Beekeepers often add supers when the previous super is about 70 to 80% full. Monitor the weight of the hive. A heavy hive indicates significant honey stores. Ensure good ventilation to prevent overheating, especially in hot climates, by slightly offsetting the outer cover or providing screened bottom boards. This helps the bees regulate hive temperature more efficiently, which is crucial for honey ripening and brood health. While swarming risk decreases after the main spring flow, it can still occur, especially in strong, crowded colonies. Continue to monitor for queen cells during inspections. Summer is also a critical period for pest and disease management. Varroa mite populations can explode during summer, so regular monitoring and potential treatment are essential to prevent colony collapse later in the year. Be vigilant for signs of small hive beetles, which thrive in hot, humid conditions. Maintain detailed records of honey flow, colony strength, and any treatments applied. As the main honey flow begins to wane towards late summer, beekeepers start planning for honey harvesting. The goal is to collect surplus honey while ensuring the bees retain enough stores for their own survival through the coming autumn and winter. Effective summer management maximizes honey yield while maintaining healthy, robust colonies. Seasonal management. Autumn. Autumn is a critical transition period for honeybee colonies as they prepare for the colder months ahead. The primary management goals shift from honey production to ensuring the colony has sufficient food stores and a healthy population to survive winter. As nectar flows diminish, the queen reduces her egg-laying, and the colony population naturally shrinks. Beekeepers should conduct thorough inspections to assess the overall health, strength, and most importantly, the food reserves of each hive. A strong colony needs approximately 60 to 90 pounds of capped honey to survive a typical winter, depending on the climate. If food stores are insufficient, supplemental feeding with heavy sugar syrup, 2:1 sugar-to-water ratio, is essential. This thicker syrup is easier for bees to store and less likely to ferment. continue feeding until the bees stop taking the syrup, indicating they have sufficient stores or temperatures are too low for processing. Autumn is also the most crucial time for varroa mite treatment. Mite populations peak in late summer and early autumn, and these mites transmit viruses that can severely weaken winter bees, leading to colony collapse. Implementing an effective mite treatment strategy based on monitoring results is paramount for overwintering success. Ensure the queen is healthy and actively laying, as the quality of the winter bees, those born in late autumn, is vital for the colony's survival. These bees live longer than summer bees and are responsible for keeping the queen warm. Reduce hive entrances to deter robbing from other colonies or pests as nectar becomes scarce. Consolidate weaker colonies if necessary, or combine them with stronger ones. Proper autumn management is the most significant factor in determining whether your colonies will successfully survive the winter and emerge strong in spring. It's a period of intense preparation and critical decision-making for the beekeeper. Seasonal management. Winter. Winter is a period of dormancy for honeybee colonies, but it's far from inactive inside the hive. Bees do not hibernate. Instead, they form a winter cluster to keep warm. The queen and brood, if any, are at the center of this cluster, with worker bees vibrating their flight muscles to generate heat, maintaining a core temperature of around 92 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 33 to 35 degrees Celsius. The cluster slowly moves through the hive, consuming honey stores as fuel. The primary management goal in winter is minimal disturbance and ensuring the bees have adequate insulation and ventilation. Avoid opening the hive during cold weather, as this can break the cluster and cause significant heat loss, potentially leading to the death of the colony. Instead, monitor the hive's weight by lifting it slightly from the back to gauge remaining food stores. This non-invasive method helps determine if emergency feeding is necessary. Cecil quit. Thank you for listening, and good luck for this episode. Insulation is crucial to help bees conserve energy. Hive racks, insulation boards, or even straw bales can be used around the hive bodies to provide extra warmth. However, proper ventilation is equally important to prevent moisture buildup, which can be more detrimental than cold. A moist hive can lead to mold, disease, and chilled bees. Ensure the hive entrance is reduced to prevent drafts and deter pests, but not completely sealed, allowing for some air exchange. A screened bottom board with a solid insert can help manage ventilation. In late winter, as days lengthen, the queen will slowly begin laying eggs again, and the colony will start to prepare for spring. Providing a candy board or fondant directly over the frames can offer emergency food if stores run low in late winter. Successful winter management ensures your colonies emerge strong and healthy in spring, ready for another productive season. It's a testament to the bees' resilience and the beekeeper's foresight. Common pests. Varroa mites. Varroa destructor mites are arguably the most serious threat to honeybee health worldwide, responsible for significant colony losses. These external parasitic mites feed on the hemolymph, blood, and fat bodies of adult bees and developing brood, weakening them and transmitting deadly viruses. Varroa mites reproduce inside the capped brood cells, particularly drone brood, where they lay eggs. As the bee emerges, the mites also emerge, ready to infest more bees and brood. An untreated Varroa infestation will almost inevitably lead to the death of a colony within a few years. Beekeepers must actively monitor mite levels and implement integrated pest management (IPM) strategies to keep populations below damaging thresholds. Ignoring Varroa mites is not an option for responsible beekeeping. Understanding their life cycle and impact is the first step in effective control. Effective Varroa management involves a combination of monitoring and treatment. Monitoring methods include sugar rolls, alcohol washes, and sticky board checks, which help estimate mite populations. Based on these counts, beekeepers can decide if and when to treat. Treatment options vary and include both chemical, miticides, and non-chemical approaches. Non-chemical methods include drone brood removal, as mites prefer drone brood. screened bottom boards, and resistant bee stock. Chemical treatments, such as formic acid, oxalic acid, or synthetic miticides, must be applied carefully, following label instructions, and often rotated to prevent mite resistance. The timing of treatments is crucial, often in spring and especially in autumn, to protect the vital winter bees. A proactive and varied approach to varroa management is essential for maintaining healthy, productive colonies and is a continuous effort throughout the beekeeping year. Common pests: small hive beetles. Small hive beetles, SHB, Athena tumida, are another significant pest for honeybee colonies, particularly in warmer climates. These small dark brown or black beetles are scavengers that can reproduce rapidly within a hive, especially in weak or stressed colonies. Adult beetles lay their eggs in cracks and crevices of the hive, and their larvae tunnel through honeycomb, consuming honey, pollen, and brood. The most damaging aspect of SHB infestation is the fermentation of honey and pollen by the beetle larvae, which creates a slimy, foul-smelling mess that can cause bees to abandon the hive, abscond. While strong colonies can often manage small populations of SHB, a severe infestation can quickly overwhelm and destroy a weak colony. Beekeepers must be vigilant in monitoring for their presence and maintaining strong, healthy hives as the first line of defense. Management strategies for small hive beetles include both cultural practices and physical traps. Maintaining strong, populous colonies is the best defense, as healthy bees are better equipped to contain and remove beetles. Keeping the apiary clean and free of debris and avoiding spilled honey or comb helps reduce attraction. Physical traps, such as beetle blasters or oil traps, can be placed inside the hive to capture and drown adult beetles. These traps typically use a small amount of oil, like vegetable oil or apple cider vinegar, to lure and trap the beetles. Some beekeepers also use beneficial nematodes in the soil around the apiary to target beetle larvae and pupae. Regular inspections for signs of beetles, larvae, or the telltale slimy comb are essential. A multifaceted approach, focusing on hive strength and targeted trapping, is key to managing small hive beetles and preventing them from becoming a devastating problem in your apiary. Bee diseases. American foul brood. American foul brood, AFB, is one of the most destructive and highly contagious bacterial diseases affecting honeybee brood, caused by the spore-forming bacterium, Paenibacillus larvae. It is a notifiable disease in many regions due to its severity and rapid spread. AFB primarily affects young larvae, which become infected by ingesting spores with their food. The bacteria multiply within the larva, killing it after it has been capped in its cell. Infected larvae turn dark brown, eventually drying into a characteristic scale that adheres tightly to the bottom of the cell. A key diagnostic sign is the ropey test, inserting a stick into a dead larva and pulling it out, revealing a stringy, glue-like substance. The disease is highly persistent because the spores can remain viable for decades, making it extremely difficult to eradicate from contaminated equipment. AFB poses a significant threat to apiaries and requires immediate, drastic action upon detection. Due to its highly contagious nature and the longevity of its spores, American foul brood requires strict management. If AFB is confirmed in a colony, the most common and often legally mandated response is to burn the entire infected hive, including bees, frames, and honey, and sterilize or burn all contaminated equipment. This drastic measure is necessary to prevent the spread of spores to other colonies. In some regions, antibiotic treatments, like oxytetracycline, can be used preventatively or to suppress the disease in its early stages, but they do not eliminate the spores and can lead to antibiotic resistance. Prevention is paramount. Always source bees and equipment from reputable suppliers, practice good apiary hygiene, and avoid feeding bees honey from unknown sources. Regular, thorough inspections for signs of AFB are crucial. Early detection and swift, decisive action are the only ways to protect your apiary and the wider bee population from this devastating disease. Understanding the signs and protocols for AFB is a critical responsibility for every beekeeper. Honey harvesting and processing. Honey harvesting is one of the most rewarding aspects of beekeeping, representing the culmination of the bee's hard work and your diligent management. The timing of harvest is crucial. Honey should only be collected when it is ripe, meaning the bees have reduced its moisture content to below 18% and capped the cells with wax. Uncapped or unripe honey has too much moisture and will ferment. Typically, honey is harvested in late summer or early autumn after the main nectar flow has ended. Before harvesting, ensure you have all necessary equipment: protective gear, a smoker, a bee brush, and an uncapping knife or tool. The goal is to remove honey supers with minimal disturbance to the bees and without damaging the comb. Techniques for removing bees from supers include using bee escapes, fume boards, or simply brushing them off the frames. Always leave enough honey for the bees to survive winter. Never take all their stores. Once the honey-laden frames are removed from the hive, they are taken to a clean, bee-free indoor space for extraction. The first step in processing is uncapping the frames, which involves removing the wax cappings from the cells to expose the honey. This can be done with a heated uncapping knife, a scratching tool, or a roller. After uncapping, the frames are placed into a honey extractor, a centrifugal machine that spins the honey out of the comb without destroying it. This allows the frames to be returned to the bees for reuse. For top bar or warre hives, honey is often harvested by crushing and straining the comb. After extraction, the raw honey is typically strained through a coarse filter to remove wax particles and other debris. It is then allowed to settle for a few days to let air bubbles rise to the surface before being bottled. Proper harvesting and processing techniques ensure you obtain high-quality, pure honey while maintaining the health and integrity of your bee colonies. Other bee products and conclusion. Beyond honey, honeybees produce several other valuable products, each with unique properties and uses. Beeswax, secreted by worker bees, is used to build comb and cap honey. It's a versatile natural product, used in candles, cosmetics, polishes, and various crafts. Propolis, a resinous substance collected by bees from tree buds, is used to seal cracks in the hive and provides antimicrobial protection. It is valued in natural medicine for its antiseptic and anti-inflammatory properties. Bee pollen, collected by foragers, is a rich source of protein, vitamins, and minerals for the colony, and is marketed as a nutritional supplement for humans. Royal jelly, a milky secretion produced by nurse bees, is fed exclusively to the queen and young larvae. It is highly prized for its purported health benefits and is used in supplements and cosmetics. Each of these products offers additional avenues for beekeepers to engage with their hives and derive further benefits. They represent the incredible versatility and productivity of the honey bee colony, showcasing their profound impact on both natural ecosystems and human well-being. This beekeeping course lecture has provided a foundational overview of the essential knowledge and practices required to embark on your beekeeping journey. We've covered honeybee biology, different hive types, essential equipment, seasonal management, and common pests and diseases. Remember that beekeeping is a continuous learning process, requiring observation, patience, and adaptability. Every colony is unique, and local conditions will always influence your management decisions. Join local beekeeping associations, connect with experienced beekeepers, and continue to educate yourself. By becoming a beekeeper, you not only gain access to delicious honey and other bee products, but also contribute significantly to the health of our environment through pollination. Embrace the challenge and the immense rewards of working with these incredible insects. Your journey into the world of beekeeping is just beginning, filled with discovery and a deeper appreciation for nature's intricate balance. Happy beekeeping!